Good morning. Oh shit, it's another day. Getting on here a little later than usual. Some of y'all motherfuckers probably thought, oh shit, someone got this guy. All that shit talking. I ain't going nowhere, motherfuckers. Not until the last breath. Not until the last breath am I gonna stop advocating, encouraging, inspiring people to live life to the fullest. It took me 10 years of sobriety. It took me ending a very abusive, toxic relationship with alcohol that started when I was 15 years old and ended 10 years ago, July 22nd, 2012. Alcohol did nothing but destroy me, right? Alcohol was my biggest vice. It was the hardest relationship to end. And I started this year on a mission to share my experience with you all. It's all on me. That message is about taking personal ownership of your life, total ownership, total and complete ownership. It's something I've had to do over this process of 10 years of healing, 10 years of truly self-discovery, right? How many of us truly know who we are, right? We know our name, we know our date of birth, we know who our parents are sometimes, not all of us. I didn't know who my father was till I was about 17. So we don't always know the basics, right? Who our parents are, right? Who our siblings are. There's so many interesting stories that humans that partake in, right? We're born into this world and we don't get a manual. We don't get instructions for life and for all the different phases of life, you guys. And so I'm just encouraged and inspired to come on here and to keep coming on here every single day. I'm encouraged by those of you that are checking in, to really start hearing people start to do some journaling. Uh-oh. People starting to wake up with an attitude of gratitude. Uh-oh. That's some positive things. I know a lot of you can get hurt, right? Because this guy, he seems angry. He seems this because he cursing up a storm. That's just passion. That's just fire, right? That's just being highly motivated, self-motivated. How many of you guys can self-motivate, right? Can just motivate yourself, man. When it's like the going gets tough, you get tougher, right? You don't give in. We don't quit. We dig in. And every single person hearing my voice, you've probably been through a lot of shit. You've been through a lot of your shit. Nobody else knows what your shit is unless you share that with them. And even then, as an observer, as a listener, it's hard to relate. It truly is a very difficult, challenging thing for us to put ourselves in someone else's shoes. It's how do you relate to that? Right? How can you guys relate to my story, right? Of 10 years of sobriety, of growing up in a small town and joining the military and just having 5 incredible years of service to this country, always raising my hand, tip of the spear type shit, high speed, low drag, hospital corpsman serving with the grunt Marines with a special unit, going out and kicking in doors and flashbangs and all this cool stuff with SEALs and Force Recon Marines and snipers and high speed shit, man. And then getting out to follow a dream, follow a passion of starting a business and starting a family and settling down and trying to you know become better than where I came from as a child, growing up to a single mom, and eventually her starting a new family and me feeling a sense of abandonment and needing to survive from like 10 to 12 years old on. And then just knowing that at those early years of life, junior high, really sixth grade, junior high, high school, formulating and being drawn towards the party crowd, right? It was always the jocks, but man, they used to party like fuck. We used to party so much, you guys. And then to be chasing after that dream, getting drunk all along the way, running a business, you know, in my 20s, just crushing life, thinking, man, could it get any better than this? Right? We're just gonna keep growing, we're just gonna keep stacking cash. And then it all comes crashing down, right? It all came crashing down. Having to move back with two little children, right? A 3 month old that's now going to be 13 in just a couple weeks, right? And a 2 year old that's now 14 will be 15 in a month and a half, and to just see how life changes and just the challenges and the adversities of life. And so I wake up every day, not always feeling great, not always thinking the best things. And that's why I have had to create some new habits, some new patterns, right? I've had to improve my mindset, PMA, positive mental attitude, coming in and saying, you know what? I may be stressed out. I may have a lot of shit going on in my life. But at the end of the day, I don't want to get overwhelmed by the shit. I want to be grounded. I want to be able to handle shit. I want to be clear minded. I'm someone that has struggled a lot with giving in to impulses, impulse control. Anybody else with me? Do any of you guys struggle with impulse control? No matter what it is, an impulse to eat, to be lazy, right? To go spend money that you don't have. There's so many ways that our impulses can wreck us. And it's just so important to find some peace of mind to start your day, right? And that's what I do, right? Today I was up at a little earlier than usual, 3:30, right? Light bulb came on at 3:30, got up, used the restroom, and thought I could go back to sleep for about a half hour for my normal wake up time at 4:05. But I was up. And so, I started playing. I did a couple of little meditations, and then I did some affirmation, right? Till about 4:40ish, something like that. And then, part of me wanted to just stay in bed and sleep a little more, but I know I have a jam-packed day. And I bet some of you got a jam-packed day. So I appreciate you guys logging on here. I appreciate those of you that have really started to put some of what I'm saying into practice, and particularly with this morning gratitude and with the journaling. Those two things are essential. And for me, that's how my day goes. I'm not going to switch up that routine. And I know that if for some reason, if I had to like wake up and maybe like run to the airport or something like that today, if I had an early flight or something, and if I was to just skip out on the mindfulness, that power hour in the morning where I'm meditating and really just setting my intentions. And I think that intention thing's I don't think everybody truly grasps that. At least that's what I'm feeling. So I look at my journal from today, and one of the important things that I wanted to put on here was here was an intention. Today is going to be an amazing day. It's packed with a lot of connection, yoga. I have an interview with the podcast I'm doing. I got another big meeting, a huge meeting today, talking about some real future breakthrough. I got therapy, and guess what? It's all on me. So just something like that is really setting the intention. It's gonna be a great day, right? Could shit go wrong? Yeah. But can I handle that storm with a positive attitude, saying, I got this, I've been through worse? That's what we got to start telling ourselves, guys. Like, we can't let every fucking thing crush us. We can't let every single little fucking thing trigger us to react in a negative way. Because everyone's fucking hurting right now. Who the fuck's not hurting? Who doesn't have some level of stress in their life right now? Because if you don't got no stress in your life, I really would love to encourage you to, emulate what I'm doing. Get on here and start telling your truth. We want to hear what it is that allows you to have such a stress-free life. And for me, um, it's just the transformation that I've gone through, you guys, in this 10 years of sobriety, and really just in the last year and a half, renewing myself, transforming my nutrition completely from just a Western diet, trying to be healthy, fitness diet, to being 100% vegan, plant-based, right? Hitting the gym, exercising, continuing with the daily 5, right? I mean, this isn't just something I made up. Well, I mean, it kind of was, but it was built off of all the therapy I had done, all the work I'd been putting in. What it really took for me to figure out what was going on was to say, you know what, every single day we get hit with stress. We have to give of ourselves. And so our energy, hopefully if you're someone that's living a healthy, productive, purpose-filled life, that's what I'm selling to you guys here, is giving up the suffering and the pain and the complacency and taking that fucking easy road in life, right? For saying, you know what? I'm going to tell that little bitch voice to shut the fuck up, and I'm going to start taking ownership of my life, because I want to live a healthy, productive, purpose-driven life. And whatever your purpose is, find that fucking purpose. Find the thing that can get you up in the morning and give you excitement and optimism and hope that you're doing something meaningful in your life, that you're doing something that is going to actually give you pleasure, and not just in a sexual way, right? Most of us are just always pleasure seeking. Everything's got to be about your pleasure. How do you feel? How does this make me feel? And, sometimes pleasure can, for me, is making a difference. There's something very powerful about when I can raise my hand and go down range to help people on a disaster. I was incredibly grateful that I had a window of opportunity, that I had the freedom, right? I had the freedom. I didn't have to ask a boss or someone else, hey, can I take off a week to go help some people that their whole lives have been destroyed? You know how freeing that is, right? To not have to ask somebody else every fucking thing you want to do. Hey, can I go to a doctor's appointment? Hey, can I pick up my kid from school early? Hey, can I take off a day? And it's always, I mean, some of y'all are okay with that. Some of y'all love your jobs. Some of y'all really appreciate and know that you've put in a lot of work to be at whatever place you are in your career. But that's not everybody. A lot of people are really frustrated. A lot of people are tired of the 9 to 5, the grind. Today, I'm going to be interviewing a couple. You guys, this is an incredible story. I have a podcast I do that's Central DeLound Adventure Travel, overlanding, and it's called the Great American, the American Style Overland Show. And I came across this couple's story. They just completed like a 3.5-year trip, 20 countries, you guys. They left from Central California with a husband, wife, and a 6-year-old. Sold everything, quit their jobs, saved up some cash, and came up with a plan to go and travel 20 countries in a van, living out of their van, you guys, teaching their daughter, having these crazy, amazing experiences. And it's an incredible thing, and it's like their story about how much fear and doubt, came into play as they had committed themselves to doing this incredibly brave, courageous life experience, right? And I think that spirit of independence and wanting to be free, we all have that. We all possess that at some level. To some degree, we all possess a desire to be free, to be independent, to be, how many of you guys wish you could just live life for a living and not just sitting around on your asses? Some of y'all just be sitting on your asses all damn day. But actually, if you just had the freedom to travel and to explore and to just, be outdoors and just be free, right? You don't have to, answer to a boss or job. And I know that that's a fantasy for a lot of people. That's like that shit, that's not real. Well, bullshit. There are millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people doing that right now, right? And I'm someone that, I'm basically writing my story to lead to that, right? That's the life I want. I want absolute and total freedom. And so I'm writing my story. I'm willing to risk it all, right? Because we got one shot, you guys. You got one shot at this life. Like, how many of you guys realize this? This day will never happen again. This is it. That you got one shot at today. And I've been talking about this going on 2.5 weeks now, that what you did or didn't do yesterday is what plays into your reality today. And that's why I keep on trying to fucking light fires under your asses to get you motherfuckers moving and living and saying, you know what? If you need help because you're just stuck in life, you're jammed up, ask for some fucking help. Thank you to everyone that's reaching out to me on the back end. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing to be having the conversations I'm having with those of you that are tuning in here. Those of you that are putting aside the ego, putting aside the pride, and are saying, you know what? I don't agree with everything this guy says. None of us should agree with everything any other person says. You should agree with everything you say to yourself. You should at least believe it. Quit telling yourself lies. It starts there, being honest. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's so satisfying. There's a lot of satisfaction in knowing that me putting myself out there, me, a man like me, opening the fuck up, right? The ripple effects that's going to have throughout this year and years to come, because some of you guys are truly taking this shit serious and starting to actually participate in the process. This is not just an observer. And some of y'all motherfuckers keep watching this shit because the views are about the same. The likes are very small. And it's probably because a lot of you motherfuckers watching this, you guys are watching every time. You don't like it. You won't hit that, smash that like button, but you keep watching me, right? Because you're afraid. One, you either think that who the fuck does this guy think he is? It's either that type of mentality, or it's like, wow, this guy is freaking awesome, but I'm afraid to align myself with him because he seems like he's a little bit of a loose cannon. And you fucking better believe it, I am. I don't have to hold any punches right now. And that's because I don't give a fuck. Zero fucks given what you think, say about me. I don't care. And you know how freeing that is? Like, that's a genuine self-acceptance, is when you really truly do not care what any other motherfucker gonna say or think about you. I'm not trying to get your acceptance. I don't think coming on here talking about all my shit is the best way to become popular, right? There's already truth in just the fact that, I used to post up pictures of my hikes and stuff, and that number got cut in half because a lot of you got, a lot of these people got scared off. Y'all motherfuckers got scared, right? This guy put out his shit and now I'm scared. He hurt my feelings, or this guy's way too crazy for me. And you know how freeing that is, right? Being able to be so confident that I don't need anybody, right? But the cool thing is I know that again, I'm letting go of all the bullshit. I don't want no fucking fake friends. I don't want no bullshit fucking people in my life. I'm looking to establish and develop deep, meaningful relationships with people that truly want to aspire to be the best that they can, make a positive impact in this world, willing to give up of their time, their talents, their energy, right, to make an impact in this world, but first it starts with self. It's truly starting to develop that relationship with ourselves. That's this whole thing. It's all on me. That's personal fucking ownership. Quit making fucking excuses. Quit blaming every other motherfucker for all your heartache and pain. I know some of y'all have some legitimate reasons to be hurt, to be upset, right? Because someone has legitimately hurt you, intentionally hurt you. There are people that have intentionally hurt you. But why the fuck are you carrying that shit around? That shit's on them, right? Yes, you got to deal with it. But can you get to a place where you truly forgive and let go? You don't have to continue having a relationship with people that hurt you. You can never talk to them again. But if you're still living in this mindset of depression from the past, holding on to it and not wanting to heal and process your feelings about that situation, giving it new meaning, you're stuck. And I'm over here fucking smacking you guys around saying, let's go. Enough already. Get some help if you need some help. Get some therapy. Reach out to me. And it sounds like a fucking broken record every single day. But that's because so many of you are not living life to the fullest. You're taking this shit for granted, but you've been taking a lot of shit for granted. Telling yourself all these dumbass stories, lies, limiting beliefs. And I'm just trying to be out here and make a difference. I'm just trying to be a messenger, turn my mess into a message. And hopefully I already know it's making a difference. That's why I keep getting back on here. That's why I'm not backing down, right? I'm living life with a purpose and with intention. And I'm asking you guys, if you want to do the same, I'm here for you. I'm willing to help you. I'm willing to guide you. I'm willing to support you and encourage you along the way of your own life. Right? I truly am stepping out to be a life coach, whether it's for health, fitness, nutrition, mindfulness, right? Recovery, you name it. Any part of your life that you want to grow and change and start thriving in, I'm a pretty damn good fucking resource to have in your corner. Trust me. You won't be listening if it wasn't the case. But some of y'all are too scared to ask for help, right? Some of y'all are in some pretty high positions and you're hearing this message and you're like, damn, I really like what he's saying, but I'll be judged, right? I don't think I'll be accepted if I align myself with this guy and his strong message. Well, that means you're just a scared little motherfucker, right? You're just going to keep playing scared. You might have a big title and a lot of power and responsibility, but if you can't stand for your truth, right? You've compromised, you've sold out, but you're coming back to here because you know this shit's stirring up something inside of you. And that's a good thing. You know, one of the biggest breakthroughs for me with this whole journaling and really self-discovery, I put out that video about the dark side. Right? The dark side, embracing the dark side. We're all scared of it. We only think, some of us, we think our faith somehow cleanses us of all the nasty bullshit that we're capable of, all this fucking pain and suffering that comes out, all this mean and nasty fucking shit we have in us, right? And one of the things that was a breakthrough for me, and I'm going to share this with you guys. This is very personal and private, but I'm in a place of transparency and really wanting to model, right? Be a role model and demonstrate the things that I am asking, that I'm suggesting. I'm not even telling you guys to do this shit. Do it if you want. Those of you that have done it, guess what? It's been I've heard some really amazing stories and feedback. And it starts with journaling every day. This is in my journal. I mentioned a few weeks ago about how I had to start looking in the mirror at about 41 years old. And after my divorce, I had to ask myself, who am I? It sounds so stupid, right? Who am I? Oh, well, I'm my name. No, I'm not. I'm not just my name. I'm not just, back then, I wasn't just a father. right? I wasn't just the Veterans Resource Center guy at Santa Fe Community College. I wasn't just my faith. I'm not my religion. I'm not my skin color. I'm not my heritage. I'm none of that. There's something inside of us that's even superior to all of those titles, all of those roles. And so I started to write down a list. Who am I? Right? And just so you guys know, right? This ain't no bullshit. I'll share with you guys. Look, who am I? And dark side. So I started going down and I was writing this list, and I'm going to read through it. And I started doing all the ego strokes, you guys, like, who am I? And it was all the positive things, right? This is all the resume, stuff that you'd put on there, the ego strokes about all the good things that you have, all your talents and gifts and specialness. So I started writing down this list. The first thing I wrote is I'm a badass motherfucker. I'm smart, intelligent, creative, loving, caring, multi-talented, hardworking, resilient, driven, successful, leader, tough, strong, spontaneous, charming, fun. I'm an introvert. I'm a hustler, a father, son, brother. I'm an alcoholic, a recovering alcoholic. I'm a humanitarian. I'm thoughtful. I'm aggressive. I'm powerful, educated. I'm an award winner. I'm mysterious. I'm misunderstood. I'm an influencer, right? And so those were just a list of positive things. And what happened is when I got about halfway down that list, I said, whoa, hold up. It's time to get real. And it's time for you to get fucking real. Quit telling yourself those fucking lies. Can you write down this other list? We can all do this first list. You come up and try and flesh out all the fucking awesome, amazing shit. And for some of us, this was hard. This was not always an easy practice for me to I'm not the best at promoting, self-promotion and all that shit. You guys probably think that because I can come on here and talk about I'm a human. Like I don't always feel great like promoting and tooting my own fucking horn. I'm not that kind of a egomaniac. Like it's hard for me. And one of those words on there is I'm an introvert, right? INFP, right? That's my style. I'm very introverted, right? But I have that extrovert side to me, and it's based on survival. The extrovert has been developed because I needed to survive. I knew I needed to network and meet other people in order for me to survive. And that started happening at a young age of 12. So there was the good shit. And again, when I got to about halfway down that list, I said, you know what? I got to be fucking real on myself. And my dog chewed my notebook here. This is an older notebook, but I did dark side. The dark side. Ready to start looking in the mirror and saying, dude, there's some bad shit in you and you need to be honest about it. So what did I put on the dark side? I'm dangerous, vicious, disrespectful, abusive, selfish, stubborn, confrontational, angry, destructive, frustrated, depressed, anxious. I'm a rager. I could be unloving, shady, harsh, careless, risky, addictive behavior, lazy, complacent, liar, deceiver, cheater, scared little bitch, troublemaker, rebel, criminal-minded, pretender, and a good thief. How many of y'all can fucking do that by yourself? More or less put that out to the whole world to see, right? And does that mean I'm these things all the time? No, but I had to fucking take an inventory of what I truly know that I have been in my life. And these are all the things. Now, here's the beauty of it, you guys. These lists, when I fleshed out just about everything, and I could probably add more and keep fucking stacking shit. But here's the cool thing. The positive and the negative lists just naturally are about equal. They're right there at about equal. And it wasn't until I started doing the shadow work and accepting that there is some fucking mean, evil shit to my personality. And the more that I tried to ignore it, the more that I denied it, the more that I tried to hide it, right? It's like the more it would come out and expose itself in ways that I couldn't control. And that's the whole thing here, you guys, is I want to have control over my fucking self. And I realized that for some crazy reason, that fight or flight would kick in. And guess what? The dark side would come out when it was fight mode. And I always felt, guys, like I would always describe it in therapy, that I always felt like there was just lava just beneath the surface. I always had this flow of lava just beneath the surface. This isn't right now. This is in the past. And that when it would erupt, it was like I felt like I was not in control. I felt like I had literally no control over what was going on. And the most painful part of that dark side is that when it would erupt, guess what? It wouldn't erupt at a social gathering, right? It wouldn't erupt when I was like at church. It wouldn't erupt when I was like hanging out with friends. You know, it wouldn't erupt when I was at work, right? It seemed like I could keep it under control. But it was like little things along in those environments would put pressure on it and stress. And then guess what? When it would erupt, guess when it would erupt? In the privacy of my own home. And guess who would be the ones that would be the receivers of that eruption? Those closest to me, my intimate relationships, my spouse, my kids. And guess what? Like, do you know how fucking awful that makes me feel? To know that I didn't have no control over myself, my emotions, that I would erupt. And oftentimes that eruption would leave pain, suffering, and destruction to hurt those people that are closest to me. How many of you guys are like that? Be honest with yourselves. How many of you guys know that you take out your worst side on the people closest to you? And it fucking hurts, man. And then you're labeled all these bad things. And what do? You start to decay and erode your relationships, right? You start to become unsafe to those people that care about you and love you, right? You're not safe. And I couldn't trust myself for years, you guys. And I'm talking about through sobriety years. Definitely when I was fucking all liquored up, drunk motherfucker, that shit was just like fucking accelerated. That's like nitrous oxide. Wah! You know, that was a motherfucker, man. So I had to eliminate at least that part of it, because this whole journey of self-discovery has really been about self-control. I want to be able to trust myself, and I am so sick and tired of hurting people I love and I care for. I want to get help. And that's why I have been on such a fucking relentless mission to try every fucking thing possible to see what works. Because guess what, you guys? No one has a fucking perfect plan, right? All of these things that have happened when I was a little kid, so many of these things I buried and had forgotten about. And then you don't realize how this shit fucking impacts your life. As you grow as an adult, you're like, that was 20 years ago. That was 40 years ago when that happened. Why would that be bothering me now? The reason why it's bothering you now is because all you did was forget about it. That doesn't mean it got healed and it went away. And that's the most important piece here, you guys, is time alone does not heal. Sitting in the pain, facing your fucking demons and telling those motherfuckers, guess what? I ain't gonna go to jail for fucking taking you out, motherfuckers. When you can face your demons and then stack them, you put those motherfuckers down. That's what I did. I didn't just face it. I didn't just look at my demons. I said, let's go. It's on. There's only one person leaving this room, and it's me. And I ain't going to jail when all these bodies are stacked. Because I want to be able to trust myself. I know genuinely, and I think every single human genuinely has good intentions in life, wants to feel good about themselves, wants to contribute in a positive way to their family, to their friends, to their neighborhood, to their community, to the world. Like, I think most of us have a good intention in life, but unfortunately, trauma, our childhood traumas, are some shit that fucks us up. And that's one of my stories. I did spend a number of years, you know, going after God, right? Trying out the Christianity thing. I'll tell you what, one of the words I never remember hearing in any of the services that I ever went to, and I'm even trying to think about just my understanding of the Bible, and I've read through that motherfucker a few times. I know it well. Is I can't really think about trauma being a part of the dialect. So many of us, we run to the faith in the religion because it has a message of healing, of being saved, and somehow it's a quick fix. And what I realized is that shit alone was not able to fix and heal me, right? And maybe you have a different experience, and that's what's cool about life. Everyone gets to have a different experience. I talked to a 65-year-old man yesterday at the gym about a lot of things. Some of y'all just need to go to your workplace today, when you're at the grocery store, something, strike up a conversation with someone older than 60, right? In their 70s, 80s, the older the better. Just say, hey, how you doing? How's life going? Talk to, people love opening up. We're all starving for connection, human connection these days, especially going on 3 years of fucking pandemic. We're all starving for some more human interaction and connection, and especially the elderly folks that are out there. And so this guy told me a story. He said it in Spanish, but I'll say it in English here. He says, every mind or every brain is its own world. Listen to that. Every brain is its own world. Like, that shit hit me hard. I'm like, whoa, you're absolutely right. Every single one of us has a completely different experience from the person next to us, to our right, to our left. I mean, you may be married to somebody that you guys have been sleeping next to each other for decades and decades and decades. And guess what? Y'all don't know each other fully. You think you know each other. You've become comfortable with having that person in your life. But I know in my own experience with 20 years of marriage, we didn't always do the checkup from the neck up with each other. Hey, how's it going? And I encourage you guys, in whatever relationship you're in, if it's a marriage or, just any form of relationship, that you guys kind of, even at the beginning of the year, check in with each other. Have some common goals. We focus so much on our own personal goals, and I think that's an important piece, because I'm so anti-codependency. This message isn't just about being that lone wolf, that independent mind. It's just about being self-sufficient. It's saying, hey, do you have what it takes to rely on yourself in just about any given situation? But if you have people that are in your life that are healthy and support you and care for you and champion you and cheer you on, like, we want to welcome that. We want to build that, right? I think that's the thing. You can't just live life no more, motherfuckers. You need to start building your fucking life and building the life that you want, because we only got one shot at this. That's it. You got one shot. And some of y'all just sitting in that fucking dirt box, watching the sun go up, watching the sun go down, watching the sun go up, watching the sun go down. And y'all don't have a fucking purpose and a mission in life. And that's so sad, because I truly believe that every single one of us has greatness in us. Now, we define greatness as very, very differently, but I truly believe that we all possess something very unique and special that we are meant to share with other people. This is what I truly believe is, at least in this season, this will probably lead to bigger and greater things. I already see those things coming, but at least today I know that this message, my voice speaking this message of hope, of transformation, of recovery, of healing, of having a growth mindset, of being self-sufficient, getting fucking honest, taking total ownership of our lives, right? It's about total ownership. The good, the bad, and the motherfucking ugly every single day. And not taking days for granted. Quit living your life like a fucking accident, like it's a mistake. Your life is not a mistake, no matter how many mistakes you have. I struggled so much, you guys, with that fear of failure. I can remember just a year and a half ago, meeting someone and starting to date. And, you know, when you're just questioning each other, this person had asked me what my greatest fear was. And back then it was the fear of failure, like to fail. And what's so crazy is, you know, failure, the road to success is paved with failure. Failure is our greatest teacher. How many of you all are afraid of failure today? I bet you a lot of you guys are, right? Are you? Are you afraid of failure? Knowing that you've already made a lot of mistakes, but there's a fear of it. Guess what, you guys? In the past year and a half, my mind has grown. I've changed. I've transformed myself even more. So if you ask me right now, hey, Greg, what's your greatest fear today? It's even more clear. My greatest fear today, guys, is for me to get to the end of my life and not to recognize the greatest version of who I could have been. To see the person, the greatest version of who I could have become, and to feel like I let that person down because I stayed fucking complacent, because I allowed my fear to keep me stuck in the past. I couldn't find that fucking courage to finish the starting line. Y'all understand that? Think on that. How many of you guys need to finish a starting line in your life? Meaning you got to just cross the starting line. I'm going to be interviewing this couple, guys. They went on a 3.5 year just absolute freestyle adventure, saying, hey, we're going to make it to the southern tip of Argentina from Central California in a van, right, with our 6-year-old daughter. I mean, and they wrote a book about it. And they talked about how much fear and doubt and second guessing was coming into play before the day that they were truly meant to leave. And it was like everything wanted them to just say, this is crazy. We're nuts. Let's not do this. Let's back down. Let's give into the doubt. Let's give into the fear. Something bad's going to happen. And there was all this turmoil going on in like Mexico and all these countries, and they experienced even more natural disasters and turmoil. But guess what? That first night, they were set free. They finally just said, you know what? We're doing it. They were fortunate enough they had each other as a couple, right? Sounds like a healthy situation where they both were pulling and believing and aiming in the same direction, right? That's what I want, right? Who doesn't want that? How many of y'all got freaking partnerships, relationships that you're just supporting someone else's story? You don't get to be the main character in your own story because your primary role is to be the support character in someone else's life story. And if you start to express your needs, right? Think about it. If you were to actually start to speak up, find some courage to say, hey, I have needs too, that person would probably threaten to abandon you if you were to try and act out on some of your needs. Gosh, man, that's so painful to have to suppress our needs, right? And it's also painful for us to expect another human being to meet all our needs. Some of us do that too. That's that toxic relationships, right? And we wonder why we're just always in this cycle of conflict, right? Because one, we're expecting someone else to meet all our needs, and we've put them on a pedestal. Our whole life revolves around them and how they think about us and how they feel about us. And, you know, if we lose them, then no one's ever going to love us again, right? No one's ever going to take care of us. And it's like, dude, no one's coming to rescue you. This whole self-discovery, it's all on me, is taking total ownership, building a relationship with yourself, a healthy relationship, right? We sit there and we put all these expectations on people, right? Whether they're coworkers or intimate partners, as to what they are supposed to do for us to meet our own needs. And I was right there with you guys. I'm talking this because I've lived this life. I know what it is to not be able to validate myself and to put so much pressure on an intimate partner to say, hey, your fucking sole job is to validate me right now. And if you don't, like, I'm going to hate you, or, you know, you're a liar, or I'm going to abandon you. And it's just like, man, I had to really look in the mirror and realize that, you know what? I need to validate myself, because I don't know what this other person has truly gone through. I don't know their entire story. I don't know what they're feeling right now. So that when I am hurting and I need love and I need to feel connection, and that person's like, I can't give it to you, and they're rejecting, and then I'm feeling that I am rejected, that I'm not worthy of love. Does any of this shit resonate with some of you guys? I think it is. And I think that's what's refreshing, and that's what's keeping you coming back here for more. It's hard to find this real fucking talk out there. Not me just giving advice, right? I don't just sit here and give advice. I am telling you about my fucking personal, intimate experiences with this shit. And then it translates into what? A message. And it translates into a perspective for you to hopefully find some breakthrough in your life, so that you can start living life again, living life to the fullest. But guess what? In order for you to get to a new level of who you are, you may have to lose some people right now. And I'm not just someone here trying to break up relationships and get people to question shit, but some of y'all know some of y'all need to wake the fuck up like Greg did. When was it? It was probably 2018, 2019. When I just looked at my marriage, I looked at my life, and I said, dude, I can't do this no more. I can't do this. I'm tired of the fear mongering, right? I used to get all the fear mongering from all these people. Dude, you can't get married. You're going to destroy your kids. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. That's against the word of God, and you need to make it work. And, you know, I finally had to buck that shit and say, you know what? Fuck that shit. I see the pain and suffering my kids are going through because they feel the tension between me and my spouse. This ain't healthy. I got one shot at this. I got one life. I'm tired of fucking being a miserable fuck, right? I'm tired of having someone there just to have them there, right? We're not doing life together. And so what's the point? What's the fucking reward from that? What's the value in that? It's zero. There's zero fucking value. And so I finally could get to a place where it wasn't anger. I wasn't emotionally charged, that I could then go to my ex-wife and I could say, hey, we need to talk. I need to, you know, I want to figure out some shit in our life. This ain't working for me. And I don't think it's working for you. I'm not happy. Are you happy? We're not happy. Are we going to change? Right? Do we think some therapy, couples therapy, is going to make this better? You think church is going to make this better? You think a couples retreat is going to make this better? I don't know. I didn't see any options to make things better. I just realized that, you know what? It's probably time to call it a day. Probably time to call it quits and start over. And that's a scary fucking thing. Especially I woke up at 41 years old saying, who's going to ever love me again? You know, look at me. Because even back then I was a fat motherfucker, right? Just my head spinning, coming out of the loss of the city council election, and just really being at a low, right? That wasn't the rock bottom, but it was definitely an emotional low, because I was waking up saying, whoa, where's my family? All my identity was enmeshed in being married and being, and what that meant, the definition of that. And the reason why I was so fucking lost in those first several months is because I lost myself. And some of you lost yourself along the way. And that's why I am coming back to share this message, to wake you the fuck up, to make you stop and think. Get your dang journal out. Put down some of these ideas. What do you love? What do you hate? What do you want? And why? How many of you have actually gone through that exercise? Every one of these exercises I'm telling you guys are in these notebooks. This shit ain't just made up shit. I hear all kinds of cool things to act on and to write about. that it's exploration. It's an amazing exploration. It's an exploration of self. Again, we don't have a book. We don't have a guide. And so much of life is trial and error. Yeah. Hasn't a lot of your life been about trial and error? Right? You usually learn from when you fuck something up, not when you just get it right. And sometimes you got to fuck up things a lot in order to get it right. I talked about Thomas Edison the other day, and almost every inventor. You know how many trials some of these people had to go through to get it right? I mean, Thomas Edison had to fuck up a light bulb almost 2,000 times in order to figure out how to do the light bulb correct. That's a hell of a lot of fucking staying power. That's a hell of a lot of fucking belief in self. Because trust me, I guarantee you that dude had some critics. I guarantee you that guy had some people laughing at his fucking face saying, you're a fucking idiot, man. How many times are you going to try this? You've already tried this 50 times. You've already tried this 100 times. You already tried this shit 500 fucking times, Thomas. Thomas Edison, you already tried the light bulb 1,000 fucking times, man. Give it up. Thank goodness, man. That man had a fucking vision and a belief. I guarantee you that man probably knew who he was. He was probably very crystal clear. He wasn't influenced by what everyone else fucking thought about him. And look at the greatness. We'll always know who he is. And it's not that everybody needs to cement their legacy, but truly, if you go through your whole entire life and you're sitting there on your fucking deathbed and you got to ask yourself in that day, who am I? And you have this whole realization that you spent your whole life knowing everyone else around you, trying to figure out them, that you never even figured out who the fuck you were. And the truth of the matter is, you guys, none of us know who we are. Think about that. Nobody knows who they are until they actually try to become the best version of themselves. Someone listening right now could be the next governor of New Mexico, could be the next president of the United States, could be the next most successful fucking social media business owner. Someone listening right now could be the most amazing, impactful humanitarian in all the world that the world has ever seen. Someone may be the biggest peacemaker that this world has ever seen. You know who you are. And here's my challenge to you. Why don't you try and see how far you can go? But it takes getting off the fucking sideline, getting off your ass, start doing some of these things that are healthy for you, right? We go to just 3 basic daily goals: something new, something for you, something kind. Are you going to become the best version of yourself overnight? No, but you can start putting that down in your journal. I'm on a mission that by the end of 2022, I am going to be the next version of myself, the best version of myself. I will not be doing the same thing, thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same way by the end of this year, no matter what. Instead of having these little arbitrary results, oh, I need to lose 10 pounds to feel better about myself. Bullshit. Most of us, I dropped 55 fucking pounds, right? So I'm almost guaranteeing 10 pounds ain't going to do much. Most of you losing 10 pounds, let's be honest, that ain't going to change a whole lot. We all carrying around a lot more weight than we should. And we're eating unhealthy. And then we put ourselves on every fad, every diet, all this bullshit. When we know what it takes to be healthy, right? To eat healthy, to have a healthy, active lifestyle. There's nobody out there that don't know that. But most of y'all just gonna fucking stay on easy street, keep punching the clock. So what? You keep doing you. I'm gonna keep doing me. And this is me coming on here and challenging those of you that actually are like contemplating and thinking that, you know what? I do want to change some shit up. This guy's right. I do need to start changing up some shit. I do need to start fucking trying some things. Holy fuck. Life is going by fast. And don't beat yourself up saying, oh man, I wasted all this time. I'm never going to get it back. Fuck that shit. Accept it for what it is. Forgive yourself. Say, hey man, no more. That's what you got to do. No more. I'm willing to put my foot down. I'm willing to fucking start putting in some work, putting in the effort. And it starts with attitude of gratitude in the morning. You got to start journaling and figuring out who the fuck you are, right? I've shared with you guys. This is the shit that helps me, my mind, my body, my soul, my spirit, my energy to keep my cup full. Now, is this a fail safe for every single one of you out there? No. You need to figure out what helps you to fill your cup up every single day. For some of you, it's reading the Bible for an hour every morning. Great. Praying to God. Great. Figure out what fills your cup, what makes you feel the most energized. Right? I shared a great video on grounding yesterday. I don't think a lot of you guys saw that. Came out. I posted it up at night, but I posted up a video about grounding. That's a pretty cool practice, and I definitely recommend you guys watching the documentary. Just as one quick, simple thing, man. If you're feeling a little anxious today, pop off your shoes and socks. Go outside, find a little piece of grass or a little piece of dirt. Don't matter if it's cold or whatever, and just stand there with an intention to try and just ground yourself. Watch the documentary. I mean, this shit sounds crazy, but so does everything else in this world. People doing crazy stuff. People sold, I'm going to be having an interview with a couple. They sold everything they had because they had heard about they've heard about other people doing these incredible things where you just are telling life, fuck you, life. Fuck the bullshit. Fuck the 9 to 5. Fuck being tied down to a house. I want to go explore. I got one shot at this. And the older I get, the less meaningful it is. I want to live life today. And these people sold all their shit, pulled their little girl out of school, right? And set out on the journey of a lifetime. 20 countries, 3.5 years, no hurry, no agenda. They put that shit in check quick when they were in Baja, Mexico. They were like, we don't have to be in a rush. We can stay on this isolated beach all by ourselves, camping on the fucking beach for a week if we want. Playing in the water, playing in the sand, being free. I wish all of you could find that level of confidence in your life. That's my inspiration for you guys today. Check this out. I hope you guys go out there and kick ass. Thank you for joining me for another great episode of the Morning Drinking Show. Get out there, you guys. Quit making excuses. Start making some shit happen. Journal every fucking day. Remember, results kill excuses. Greg's out.